In this video, we're going to do a case study on how a UK-based food blog grew their traffic 188% in just 3 months.
All-in-one SEO is a game changer when it comes to digital marketing.
I use this plugin for all my WordPress implementations.
And it practically does every step for you.
I think your product is one of my favorite plugins that I use on every single client site that I build.
It opened my eyes to what's possible in terms of SEO.
It gives practical suggestions. These suggestions have really significantly boosted our website search engine rankings.
Welcome to All-in-One SEO. We help you rank higher in Google and other search engines with our powerful WordPress SEO plugin. Click this link right here to start downloading and using All-in-One SEO right now. Let's get started. So this is Taming Twins, a UK-based food blog. It initially started out as a parenting blog after the birth of the blog owner's twins, but eventually pivoted over to food after realizing the need for hassle-free meals in her own life. What's remarkable about Taming Twins is they weathered several Google algorithm updates and came out ahead, achieving a pretty impressive 188% growth in their organic traffic in just 3 months. If you want to read more about them or read this case study instead of watching this video, you can check out the companion case study at aioseo.com/trends. And I will drop in a link directly to this case study in the description below this video. So let's take a look at Taming Twins traffic. The end of 2023 brought some pretty unprecedented traffic to Taming Twins. In fact, they had a spike that was more than double their previous peak, which happened in January 2021. The older spike happened during the middle of the COVID pandemic, but this latest spike in traffic left that pandemic spike in the dust. So how did they do it? How did they grow to 754,000 monthly visits? Well, that's what we're going to dive into in this case study. So the first strategy that Taming Twins used is they optimized their really big in-depth recipes. So I've done a quick search here for camembert, and there's this baked camembert recipe, the ultimate guide. You can see that it is a huge recipe with tons of text, tons of pictures, lots of detail. So how do they organize this for readability? Well, the first thing they do is they use multimedia. They've got loads of images interspersed throughout the article here. Another thing they do is they use really short, good descriptive subheadings. How we came up with this recipe. What else you need to know about baked camembert cheese? They also use bullet points to break out different points and make it more readable. Some more multimedia here, more subheadings, even dropping in some star emoji. And if we scroll down a little more, yep, they've got FAQs included as well. So all of these things help with the readability. So how can you improve the readability on your site? You can also do all of the things that Taming Twins did. You can drop in multimedia, images and pictures. You could use bullet points. You can use FAQs. You can use good descriptive subheadings. Problem is, it's kind of hard to remember to do all of this stuff. And that's where All-in-One SEO's true SEO really shines. It's like a broken down little checklist that tells you all the things you need to do to improve the on-page SEO of your content, and even has a section specifically for readability. Let's head on over to the post section. And I'm going to click on this post here called the most amazing WordPress image compression plugins available. And then if I head on over to the top right, I'm going to click on this All-in-One SEO icon here. I'm going to click on General. And then if we look at this column, scroll down a little bit, we can see all of the various ways that we can improve the on-page SEO of this post. So I'm just going to click on this one here that says readability. I'm going to click this little caret here to expand. We can see I'm doing well with images and video in the content. My paragraph length is fine. My sentence length is fine. By the way, any one of these things we could also expand again by clicking that little caret or arrow. So if I just click on paragraph length, it's telling me I'm using short paragraphs, so that's good. So if we look at this one that says transition words, we can see it's telling us that only 26.4% of the sentences contain transition words, which is not enough. Use more of them. Very straightforward. So you could go through your content and try to find those places that are not using enough transition words
and edit them to use more transition words. But what you can also do is click this little eye icon, and True SEO Highlighter will highlight all of those places in your content that you can improve the on-page SEO. And then if we scroll up in the content, you can see this little inline navigation tool here. So we can jump between the different locations where there is an SEO issue. In this case, the missing transition words. So there's quite a few of them on this page, but this is how you would navigate between them. I pulled up this other post on my website called How to Set the SEO Title and Description Format. I brought this one up because there's less content on this page, less going on this page. It'll be easier to show you how to use True SEO Highlighter. So once again, click on the AIO SEO button up here on the top right. I'm going to click on General again, and then again, I'm going to click on Readability. So this time we're going to look at sentences length. So it's telling me that nearly 40% of the sentences contain more than 20 words, which is more than the recommended maximum of 25%. So basically all I need to do to fix this is to cut some of those sentences down, or take one long sentence and turn it into two smaller sentences. So once again, I'm going to click the eye icon here, and it will highlight all of those long sentences in my content. Again, we have the inline navigator here. My first sentence says, in this video, I'm going to show you how to set the SEO title and description format for all of your posts in your WordPress website. I like that sentence, so I'm not going to break that one up because I think that's a great intro to this paragraph. So I'm going to click the little down arrow here and move on to the next sentence. It says, now what we're going to be doing while we're in here is setting up a default format for our SEO titles and descriptions. That's a long, super wordy sentence, so I'm going to see if I can trim that down a little bit. And I'm going to go through the rest of this content and try to make some sentences smaller. You can see if you look on the right here, we're already down to 36.4% on sentences length, and we were up at 39% before. So we're going to try to get that all the way down to 25%. This sentence right here obviously is very long. I'm going to speed the video up a little bit in this part while I go through and fix a couple of sentences. And that's it. I just fixed 3 or 4 of the sentences there, broke them down into smaller sentences or got rid of extraneous words. And now the sentence length is good. If I open that caret up again, it's saying sentence length is looking great. When you're done making your changes, go ahead and click the blue update button. Make sure you save those changes. And this is how we can use True SEO Highlighter to highlight the sections of our content that need immediate attention from an SEO perspective.
The second strategy that Taming Twins used is they really focused on image SEO. Apart from just using gorgeous images like you can see here with this lemon drizzle cake, we've dug into the code, which I'm not going to do on this video. It's not very exciting video to watch someone plow through code, but they have paid attention to things like the image file name, the image title tag, the image alt text, and they've even used some image schema markup. So in this example, they may have given the image a file name of lemon-drizzle-cake, and maybe the title and alt tags are lemon drizzle cake. But we have found that they've paid attention to the SEO of their images, even going so far as to add image schema markup. All-in-One SEO can help you with the images on your WordPress website by using its powerful Image SEO add-on.
Let's head on over to the All-in-One SEO menu on the left and click on Search Appearance. And then on the tabs up top, we're going to click on the tab that says Image SEO. If this is your first time using Image SEO, you're going to have to enable it to see all the features available to you as a pro user by clicking the big green button that says Activate Image SEO. And then if we scroll back up, the first option here is about attachments, and it's giving you 3 options. So it's saying, do we want to redirect the attachment URL to the actual attachment, to the attachment parent, or to have it disabled? So the attachment URL is anytime you upload anything to the media library in WordPress, WordPress creates a special page for this called an attachment URL. It doesn't add very much SEO value at all to your website, so we recommend that you redirect it back to the attachment. So I'm going to leave that setting as is. Below that, we have all the image SEO options. So you can see there's 5 tabs here: the title, the alt tag, the caption, the description, and the file name. I'm going to start on the title tab. So if you've used our plugin before and you've formatted the title or description of any of your posts, this should look pretty familiar to you. So we basically have the same kind of options for the title format of your images. The title of an image is a little bit of additional information, and it's what someone will see when they hover their mouse over your image. Here you can decide how you want to construct the title of that image. You can clear all of these things out. You can use the image title. You can throw in a separator. And if you click the View All Tags link here, or simply type in the hashtag symbol into the box, you can get all these different options that are available. So there's tons of options that you can use in the title format of your images. I'm going to just go ahead and stick with the image title, a separator, and the site title. The next option is about the punctuation. So you can strip out the punctuation in the title of your image. We have it disabled by default. I'm going to enable it. And then you can exclude certain characters. So maybe I want to only strip out dashes. So I'm going to exclude underscores, numbers, the plus sign, apostrophe, the pound sign, and the ampersand. Everything else is going to be excluded. I'm just going to strip out dashes. So if your title, for example, was red dash basketball dash sneaker, you could change that to red space basketball space sneaker by clicking this checkbox here. And you could do the same thing for underscores if you wanted. And here we're getting a message telling us that is disabled when we are excluding underscores from stripping. So in order to convert underscores to spaces, you first have to not exclude it from the stripping, and then you could convert those to spaces. So casing here applies to the title attribute of the image. It's disabled by default. There's three options which are pretty self-explanatory. Lowercase, everything will be in lowercase. Title case, major words are capitalized, but minor words remain in their original casing. And sentence case, the first word of each sentence starts with a capital. You can also exclude certain posts or pages or certain terms. So if you don't want to do any of this image SEO to any post about debt, you can start excluding some of those pages. You can also exclude by terms. So maybe I have certain pages tagged with the term debt, and I can exclude those pages here. When you're done adjusting all these settings, hit the big blue Save Changes button. If we scroll back up the page, there's still 4 other tabs here that we have options for. So I'm going to click on the second one, the Alt Tag option, and you can see we have the same options that we just had for title, also for the Alt Tag. So we can format the Alt Tag, we can strip punctuation, we can change the casing, and we can exclude post pages or different terms that tag a post or page. So let's scroll back up to the strip punctuation section. Let's enable that. And then I'm not going to exclude anything. So we are going to basically strip out all the punctuation, and I want to convert dashes and underscores to spaces. And then for the actual alt tag format, we're going to take these out and we're going to use the alt tag. I'm going to save my changes there. And then let's see this in action. So I'm going to head on over to the media library. And then let's add a new image to the media library. I'm going to click Choose File. And I'm going to upload this image called men's-black-wetsuit. Click the blue Upload button. Okay, so we've got the image in the media library. I'm going to go over to my post section. And I'm just going to bring up this first post here called TOC Demo. And right below the second heading, I'm going to drop in this image. From the media library, there's that image. And then I'm going to update the post. And then let's go view the post. And then if we right-click on the image and choose to inspect it, I can see the code behind this image, and we can see the alt text here says men's black wetsuit. It's kind of hard to see. I'm going to see if I can highlight that. Yeah, the plugin did exactly what it's supposed to and changed that alt text on this image to what we wanted it to be, which was men's black wetsuit. So we're back on the Image SEO section of search appearance now, and I'm going to click on the caption tab. The first option is asking you whether you want to auto-generate captions when you upload images to the media library. It's disabled by default. We can enable that. You can also go into the media library and apply a bulk setting to all the images you have already uploaded. So I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But first I want to scroll down to the rest of the settings for caption here. As you can see, it's very similar to the other two tabs. So we have the caption format we can construct, punctuation, and casing. If I scroll back up to description, again, like with the captions, we have an option to auto-generate the description every time you upload an item to the media library. And then we have the same options that we had on the other tabs. If I go to the file name tab up top, we have the option to strip punctuation down to a fairly granular level. And then we have the casing option. And then we also have specific words we can strip. So for example, if every image you uploaded to your WordPress website, somewhere in the file name had IMG, and you know that's just not adding a lot of value to your website, you can type that in here and it'll strip that out of the file name. So let's go ahead and click the blue button and save our changes here, and then scroll all the way back up, and I want to show you this in action in the media library. So click on the media library, and then up top we're going to click the button that says Add New. And I'm going to click Choose File, and I'm going to grab this file here. You can see the name is img space wetsuit.jpg. So I'm going to upload that file by clicking the blue upload button. And as we can see, the file that has been uploaded to the media library is now called wetsuit. So it did in fact strip out that word img.
The third strategy that Taming Twins used is they leveraged recipe schema to score some rich results in search. And here's an example of a result for the search term lemon drizzle cake. They've put recipe schema on that article, and they're scoring a fantastic rich result here in search. So they're getting the image pulled in probably because they're using image schema as well. But because they're using recipe schema, we can see things like this 5-star rating based on 305 votes. We can even see right in the Google search engine result pages how long this recipe will take. Gives us an estimate of 50 minutes. All-in-one SEO can help you score a rich snippet like this in the search results for your recipe or even other types of content using our powerful schema generator.
Let's head on over to the post section. I don't actually have any recipe post in my website, but we're going to pretend this how-to post is a recipe post. So in the editor, if I scroll down past my content to the all-in-one SEO settings section, let's go ahead and click on the schema tab. And then we're going to click this blue button that says Generate Schema. And here's all the different types of schema we have available in our schema catalog, including article, book, event, how-to schema, fact-check schema. But for this example, we want recipe schema. So I'm going to click the plus icon and add recipe schema to this page. And then we're taken to this area where we can fill out all the relevant information. For the name, I'm just going to go ahead and keep it as post title, but we could use any one of these smart tags here. You can click this link that says View All Tags. And there's all kinds of different tags here that we could use, but I'm just going to leave it as post title. For description, I'm just going to leave the post excerpt. I like that. For author, I'm going to use the author of this WordPress post. And then we can start typing in ingredients for our recipe. So I'm going to put in duck, carrots, if I can remember how to spell carrots, potatoes, celery, and spices. That's a very generic duck recipe. Dish type, we're going to call it main course. For cuisine type, we're going to say this is French. For keywords, I'm going to put in duck recipe and duck. And then for image, I'm going to use this image I already have in my media library of this duck. I'm going to use that for the image. For the number of servings, I'm going to put 3. It's a very large duck. Total calories per serving, 775. And then for prep time, we're going to add the time in minutes. I'm going to say this is 3 hours, which would be 180 minutes. Cooking time, let's say it's 65 minutes. And then you can add in step-by-step instructions. So I'm going to make one step. Cook the duck. And there's no image for this step. If you wanted to add step-by-step instructions, you can click this link that says add another instruction and keep adding as many steps as it takes. So when you're all done here, you're going to go ahead and click the blue button that says add schema. And now my schema has been added to the page. So again, with schema, this is not something you see in the editor here. This is something that the all-in-one SEO schema generator creates, and it creates code that lives behind the page to give your page a chance of showing up as a rich snippet in the Google search results. So after we've got the schema generated and added to the page, we can see that this page has how-to schema and recipe schema. So if this was a recipe and not a how-to page, I would go ahead and delete that how-to schema. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I get prompted, are you sure you want to delete this schema? Yes, I want to delete this schema. And then remember to click the blue update button so that this schema is actually saved to the page. And now the schema has been saved to the page, and I have a chance of having a rich snippet show up in the Google search results for my recipe.
The top 3 strategies that Taming Twins use that you can emulate on your site. Number 1, they created comprehensive content and optimize it for readability. Number 2, they used Image SEO to help search engines understand their images. And number 3, they implemented recipe schema to win rich results in search. And on the flip side, there were some things they got wrong. The bottom 3 strategies to reconsider. Number 1, they overlooked some image title tags and file names. While they nailed the image SEO on some of their images, they weren't consistent. Sometimes they overlooked title tags and didn't optimize file names. Number 2, some of their page titles were under 30 characters. Google gives you between 50 and 60 characters. You really should take advantage of all of it to get more clicks through to your content. And number 3, they were missing some meta descriptions. Some of the pages on the Taming Twins website were simply missing meta descriptions. All-in-one SEO can help you emulate the top 3 strategies that they used, as well as fix the bottom 3 that might need some work. So that's how Taming Twins grew their traffic 188% in just 3 months. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. And if you want to get the SEO of your WordPress website handled today, click the very first link in the description below this video to download All-in-One SEO right now.